This video is about a picnic. It's about an 83-year-old who has a diagnosis of Lewy bodies, and me, 71-year-old, with my rheumatoid arthritis, which I've had for 50 years. I was diagnosed when I was 21. So the idea is that I want to share what it's like for an 83-year-old and a 71-year-old with physical and mental health things that want to hold us back, and how we just forge ahead anyways. It doesn't have to, none of these things are a life sentence. Maybe they are a life sentence in that you have them for the rest of your life, but we're not in jail. We're going to keep moving and doing things. And I love nature, and I know that being in nature is one of the healthiest things that we can do. You breathe fresh air, it helps you sleep, it helps you relax. I love trees, I love birds, and so we get to enjoy these things. So we're going to set up in the video, you'll see us setting up our Napier Cove, which is attached to our Honda, and we did it in 8 minutes. And we don't have designated roles as to how we're going to do it, we just do it. Picnic, seniors. So all the items for a picnic. Pillows for comfort, because we have a nice covey section in the back of our Honda in case we want to have a nap. Our stove and extra fuel to make tea, and our kettles in there. Water in these nice disposable bags, very handy. Makings for tea. Stanley made the sandwiches. He's my sandwich man. I think I might put them in a cool bag with ice. And then, tea towel, placemats, that sort of thing. For me, some light knitting. That's it for starters. The other stuff is in the back of the Honda. I'll show that to you in a minute. Picnic bag is the best because it's narrow and doesn't take up too much room and holds the cold packs, which I'm getting under the freezer. And then it'll keep and it's nicely insulated, of course. And it comes with these sections. You could put your wine glasses or whatever in there, bottle of wine, but we're not doing any of that today. The sandwiches are going in, and they're going to be kept nice and cool. Very nice picnic basket. Did I say my daughter gave this to us? My firstborn. Cutting board, plates, and in the top are supposed to be bottle openers and stuff like that, but I find they always fall out, so we don't use that too much. And that's the picnic basket. I almost forgot one very important thing, and it's not including Stanley Long. Of course, that's a given, right? What's the important thing that we forgot? If we're drinking a lot of liquids and we're not anywhere near a washroom, we have to have a pee pot. Chamber pot. So I will get it. The easiest thing, portable, is just to have a pot like this with a lid on it. We keep it underneath the back seat of or under the back of the front seat. And then wet wipes, of course, and a garbage bag. And we're all set. We always have this 4-inch foam mattress in the back of our vehicle, pretty much always. And it's on the platform that I made. So if we want to have a nap, we can have a nap up there. We carry the Napier Cove and bug screen with us in case we want to use it. This, of course, you saw in the house. Picnic items. Bathroom items go down underneath that seat. And if we need to, we just create some privacy in the front and use the washroom there very carefully. I always have my wood boxes with me, which has dishes and everything in it. And that's our picnic so far. Oh, and chairs. We have small portable chairs and big ones. These are our small portable chairs that you can easily hike with and set up. Very, they hold up to 200 and something, 250 pounds, I think, but fortunately neither one of us are at that point. And here goes the bathroom area. or at least for storing things. And then we get our big chairs in and we're all set. I have brought along my knitting because that's what I do, and I've got a very simple knitting project, small, like knitting a sock. But for Stan, I am reviewing or reading the Dick Van Dyke 100 Rules for Living to 100. And he's read the whole book. Now I'm reading it, but partway through. It's so optimistic. I call it my happy book. And I thought how appropriate that they bound it in yellow. So I read this to Stan, then he remembers the stories, and then we talk about it. So it's just something that we do occasionally. And the weather's nice. It's just another way of adding some enjoyment. So here we go. Fergus is one of the old towns in Ontario, and it was settled by Scottish immigrants in 1833, and it's a lovely town to visit. Vehicle side. I'm a very matter-of-fact kind of person. I just see things and I do it. And Stan is like, what do I do next? So he follows my lead, and he's a great helper for me. These are part of the cognitive fluctuations. Most times he's still very self-directed, and for other things he follows my lead. So putting up the Napier Cove, it gives us some privacy and creates an atmosphere. So when we're sitting in under the cove, it's like it's just us. No other cars, no other people. It's very convenient, and it also blocks some of the wind and definitely gives us shade when we need it. While I was editing this, I noticed that Stan hesitates. He's got that cord in his hand, and he's not quite sure where it's going to be connected. So that's one of the cognitive fluctuations. Sometimes he knows exactly what goes where, and other times he's trying to figure it out. Basically, he's still the same kind of guy, taking charge and doing things. It just goes a little bit slower, and then sometimes it doesn't happen at all. So he knows the cord goes somewhere, just not sure where. So rather than say anything about it, for example, I'm not going to come across and say, what's the matter with you? You know that cord goes over here? Come on, just put it on. I'm not going to do anything like that, because that would be working against the situation and demeaning his character, and that's not fair. Really not fair. You still want to be kind, and you have to be very patient, and you go with the flow. And he kind of knows that for some things I'm just going to take over anyway, so he gives me a lot of grace.
I can put those spikes in.
Right?
I can put those spikes in.
Yeah.
If the bags are in a hammer, I can do it.
I learned this a long time ago with talking to other people. As much as possible, you let them do what they still can do themselves. There's going to be cognitive fluctuations, which means sometimes they remember some things, and other times they need a little bit of help. A lot of times I find that it does show up at a different pace. So you have to be careful not to take over.
It stretches it out to the side quite a bit.
You still let them do what they can do themselves. You know, one day I hope that if things change for me mentally, that I'm allowed the same grace.
Hold on. We'll go down. Oh, I know why. Gotta turn this over. That's the way. And then she licks the pot. Not me. The flame. Oh, an extra one, eh? Thank you, sir. We're all set. Here we are by the roar of the Grand River. A spot I definitely wanted. And it's sunny and beautiful and warm. You could actually sit in here, you've got the shade, and look out at the river.
We actually visited Fergus before all the foliage and leaves and everything showed up. It was very early May, and it's amazing how quickly the leaves appear. Stanley always has a debate with me how soon the leaves will be full on the trees. He would say, they'll be full leaf by the end of May. Well, this year, that was pretty much true for a lot of trees, but the season seemed to be a little bit slow getting started. So there's still a few trees that need to push out those green leaves, but they will come. It always amazes me how people are attracted to water. Obviously, there's a lot of soothing effects that occur, but there's definitely a biological, a psychological, and a sensory stimulation that's going on. And all of these things together create this wonderful, relaxing atmosphere. You need to indulge in it. For our next picnic, which we took like only 2 days later, we take the bike along. Yeah, the big 100-pound e-bike. We've got a system, and we managed it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more adventures of Sue and Stan, because we like to get out there and keep moving.